As the man of the free, I've made a commitment to you to bring you value. I've made a commitment to you to allow you to become free in your life. Where does that start? It starts with your finances. Above and beyond all, if you can't have the freedom to move about your life the way you need to because you got a buffer in the bank, you ain't free, my friend. So what is the number one way, in my opinion, to create financial freedom? Create your own stream of revenue. So we're doing a 10-part series on how you can start from absolutely nothing. No education, no money, no experience, nada. And create $1 million business that will provide fruit for your family for years to come. But you got to start somewhere. So today on Man of the Free, we give you the basics. Let's call it Business 101. What's up, guys? Big Luke here, Man of the Free, freedom of mind, money, and media. Once again, in the Man of the Free studios, here to bring you value, because that's what I do best, and I love to do it, and I love you, and I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, comment, all that fun shit. You know what to do. So let's get right into the thick of it, guys. Why are we here today? We're here because I, as your host, have vowed to you to bring you value, okay? I talk about my successes in life. I also talk about my downfalls in life. But the common theme with my rise to, success, comfort, financial well-being has been the fact that I was able to start, groom, and scale my own business. You're talking about a guy that was in the workforce, at the age of 12. I got working papers. I was throwing hay. I was doing what it took to make money at a young age. And I've always been a worker, okay? But I lived in a town, in a home, in an area where it was very middle class. It was very rural, big money, business ownership, entrepreneurship. This was not something that was talked about often. Matter of fact, I didn't even know what the word entrepreneur meant. But as life went and life matured for me and I matured in life, you can watch my story, you can understand who I am and where I came from. It's a very dark tale to a very bright place. But I didn't have the education that it took to try to forge my own path, okay? I was gonna work for somebody the rest of my life. It was a matter of how far up the totem pole or the corporate ladder I could climb would determine my pay grade. So why are we here today? We're here, guys, because as I talk to you, as I speak to you, as I bring you value, as we do episodes, I'm always talking about, I wanna go on this journey with you. I wanna help bring you guys to success and wealth and well-being. And I'm going to show you how to start your own business. I'm going to show you how to create your own goals in life. I'm going to show you how to be healthy and well-respected in your relationship and have a good one. I'm going to show you how to find emotional and spiritual freedom. So today we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about how to create your own business, guys. This is going to be part of a, I don't know, Ruben, 10-part series maybe. What do you think? How many parts should we have?
As many as it takes.
That's what I like to hear. That's why he's my producer, guys. So we're going to break down into the very essence of what it takes to create a successful business. Now, I want to outline for you what this looks like, guys, okay? Every time I do an episode on a particular topic, I always do my research. I promise you that. I'm never coming to you off the cuff. I'm never coming to you not having at least got myself a good footing in what, I don't know if you'd call it the competition, because they're not going to compete with me, but the other people doing similar things to what I'm doing have done, have produced, or are in the process of producing. And you know what I found? I found so many college students that wanted to make YouTube videos and educate grown adults as well as young people on how to create a business, scale it, and become successful. Now, when I looked at their bios, when I looked at their social media pages, when I looked at their experience in life, you know what I found? I found they were in their mid to late 20s. I found that they were college graduates. A lot of them were master's students. A lot of them had massive, massive followings on social media. But you know what they didn't have? Small businesses. They didn't have track records. They didn't have experience. I have vowed to you, my listener, my audience, to never speak on something unless I have personal experience. Furthermore, that's the premise of the show. Okay, I'm not a celebrity. I don't want to say a nobody, because I feel like I'm somebody pretty special. I've got a wonderful wife, a wonderful family. They love me. I love them. Somebody thinks I'm pretty damn cool. You guys are watching me. Thank you. But I'm not anybody of major notoriety, right? I'm not Dwayne Johnson, although he makes some damn cool tank tops. If you notice, I wear a lot of them. Not really in tune with his political views, but you know what? Hey, game recognized game. I'm not, Jeff Bezos. I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not, Ted Nugent, and I'm not freaking Sean Hannity. I'm not anybody who's a major player in society. Okay, I will be. You believe you me, I promise you that. I'm going to keep going until the world knows exactly who I am, and I can bring this value to every single human being that wants it, okay? But the point of this, and the point of me speaking to you on the fact that I'm nobody special, is the fact that I'm just like you, guys, okay? I got a few nickels to rub together. I got some successful businesses. So I got some fancy lights and I got some cameras. I got a producer. I got a cool little e-ink tablet and I got a badass Shure microphone, right? Got a couple of them, matter of fact. But I'm just me. I'm just Luke Lunk, man of the free. Luke Lunk on social media. Luke Lunkenheimer. With so many consonants in his last name, the alphabet feels like it got robbed, okay? I digress. The fact that I'm nobody special should show you that this is real, okay? Why am I doing this? Why am I coming to you with this? Because, guys, I got like a deep-seated desire to want to help my fellow man because I was slighted so much as a kid. Now, I'm not talking about being bitter towards your parents or your childhood or anything like that. I'm just saying that, man, when you reflect on your life and you see that other people in much higher places in society are there because the opportunities were laid in front of them. Like a beautiful summer picnic with a buffet to choose from. It's like, yeah, man, if somebody puts the caviar, the tiramisu, and the Dom Perignon right in front of you, pops the cork and says, have a go of it, you're going to have a damn nice lunch, okay? Somebody gives you a can opener and says, figure it out, well, you're probably eating tuna fish. Not that there's anything wrong with tuna. However, the problem is this, guys. You have barriers. If you don't know what's out there and how to create it or how to get better or how to climb, you have barriers. In one of my videos recently, I talked about the need to lift barriers if you want to become successful. What do I mean by that? My dad made 80 grand, so in my head, 80 grand's a lot of money, okay? My mother died at 72 because of congestive heart failure. There's heart disease in my family. I'm not going to make it past 72, so why should I worry about money for retirement age? These are barriers. No one in my family's ever been able to get up in front of a microphone and be funny. There's no way I could be a stand-up comedian, okay? These are the barriers that are put in front of us or that we put in front of ourselves in life that will prohibit us from becoming successful and reaching great success, okay? So I'm just a nobody or somebody just like you. I'm not a celebrity, but I'm important just like you. And I'm here to bring you value today and talk about small business. So what is this show going to do? This show's going to outline for you exactly step by step what it takes to grow a small business, to create one rather, okay? Now, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about number one. You have to select a business, okay? You have to decide what it is you're going to do, what is going to be your field of expertise, what exactly are you going to sell, what are you going to service, what are you going to produce, right? That's number one. Number two, yeah, I'm looking down here. I got notes, okay? Number two is your marketing strategy, okay? And basically, how do you get from, and okay, so for those of you who are rookies in the business world, welcome, okay? You're damn glad that you're here. I'm damn glad that you're here, and I promise you, it's going to make your life a lot better and change it for the better. Just pay attention, okay? Marketing is the ability or the act of taking information that pertains to your business and breaking obscurity. For those of you who don't know what obscurity means, it essentially means if I'm not obscure, you know me. If I'm in obscurity, you don't know me, okay? So you need to break obscurity and get out in the marketplace so people know you. That's what Ruben and I are doing right now in YouTube, in social media, in Instagram. We are breaking the barrier of obscurity, okay? It's time consuming and it's expensive, but we're going to do it, okay? So marketing to sale number one. How do you get to that very first dollar deposited in your bank account, okay? That's number two. Number three, okay? Mastering the sale. All right. When you have a business, you're not going anywhere unless you know how to sell. Okay. Or for those of you who are camera shy, don't want to knock on doors, don't want to talk face to face, but still want to have business ownership on your resume. I'm not going to say it's impossible. It's going to be difficult. You got to have the ability to persuade. It's going to be part of your portfolio that you want. It's pivotal. Okay. But you could hire salespeople, okay? And we'll teach you exactly who to spot and who to look for that's going to be a strong salesperson. Why do I need a salesperson, okay? Because if you walk into a car dealership and there's no salesperson there, you don't know where to get the keys. You don't know how to negotiate price. You don't have anybody to do the paperwork with. You got a manager and a service department, and you don't know how to get from, excuse me, You don't know how to get from A to B. You need that liaison. You need that person to show you the value in the product that you're looking at buying and bring you to a point where you're comfortable taking money out of your pocket and putting it on the table to buy that product. That is called value exceeds the ask. That's when a transaction happens. When a consumer or a customer believes that what you are providing to them is more valuable than the money that they have to exchange for it, that exchange of value, when it happens, is a sale every time if the value exceeds the ask. Okay, so number 4, customer retention and follow-up. Okay, so you've got this business, you figured out what you want to do for a business, you've gotten from marketing to the very first sale, you've mastered the art of selling and closing, you know how to get the customer from having a brochure or being a hot phone lead to a sale, to a converted sale that is monetized and put money in your bank account. Okay, now how do you get that customer to come back to you? Okay, how do you get that customer to say thank you for the roof and then ask you to build the pool house? All right. How do you get that customer from saying thank you for plowing my driveway all winter? By the way, when it's not snowing, what do you do? Because you did such a nice job on the driveway, I'd like to see maybe if you could mow my yard, okay? How do you get from having a customer to retaining that customer, continuing to cultivate value out of that customer? Okay, guys, big thing that they do, and we'll talk more about it when it comes to a service business or online selling, e-commerce, okay, is retargeting, all right? They get a customer that's interested in it, and this isn't always after a sale. This is often, and oftentimes, and sometimes, is it most times, Ruben? Most times, done before the sale happens, okay? They look at an advertisement, okay? They haven't bought yet. That particular marketing agency or company continues to retarget that same customer. You ever had a conversation with your friend about inflatable pool toys? Man, we got to get some donuts and some inflatable pool beds for the pool here pretty soon because the good weather's about to hit. Next thing you know, you sit down at your PC, and on the right-hand side, there's ads for inflatable pool toys. That's because you've been retargeted by a marketing agency or a company, okay? As it pertains to customer retention and follow-up, you can retarget your customer with other products, okay? If you're in a service business, you're dealing with homeowners oftentimes, okay? You can sell them windows. You can sell them a roof. You can sell them more insulation in their attic. You can sell them a brick paver walkway. You can sell them a haul out. Very simply, we'll tear down that old piece of crap shed in the backyard and get rid of it for you and give you some cash for some of the scrap metal. There's many different things you can sell that customer. That's the difference between a linear business, somebody that just makes X amount of dollars, and somebody that goes off into different verticals and makes different kinds of money with that business and quantifies the amount of money that they make, okay? Finally, you got a successful business, and we've brought you there. You've learned how to, you've selected the business rather. You've learned how to market it, get to a sale. You've mastered how to sell. You know how to follow up. You know how to create repeat and referral business. Now, you know what? Shit, we did it one time. What's to say we can't do it again? Guys, this is the exact procedure that I used. Okay, you'll see these guys selling you sales techniques. They'll see you'll see them selling you diets. That's a big one. Okay, the fit guys and girls, the gurus out there. This is the exact system that I used to go from this to this. This is the exact system that I used to go from $100K a year to $1 million a year. This is the exact system that I used to get better sleep at night. Okay, it resonates with. Oftentimes, it's bullshit. Okay, if you do the research, you find out that they were never met with those ailments and they never weighed more than 10 pounds overweight. A lot of times it's bullshit, okay? But when it's not, it's valuable. That's why when it's bullshit, it appears to be valuable to you because they're essentially letting you know, hey, listen, man, I was right where you are. I've been down that road. I can sympathize with you, okay? I understand what you're going through. And here's the thing, my friend. I figured it out. I cracked the code. I figured out exactly how to beat this demon that you're dealing with. And if you follow my step-by-step plan, you too can look just like me. And then something in your mind goes, wow, the meter goes off and you go, shit, there's value here. My serotonin's spiking. I've got an endorphin rush. I'm starting to see myself with six-pack abs 30 pounds later. Shit, man, where do I swipe it? And that's what you do as the consumer. It is your job as a business owner to get your consumer in that same frame of mind, okay? I recommend that you do it with facts. I recommend that you do it with reality. I recommend that you do it organically, because you're gonna find the same guy that was selling P90X, the same guy that was selling the Atkins Revolution, the same guy that was selling all these one-hit wonder schemes that were a magic pill or a book to read or a quick and easy celebrity diet and all your problems were solved. They ain't around no more, okay? They had not a business that would sustain. They had a cute little idea. They had a great sales pitch. They had a fantastic sales team, and they knew how to convert. But they made a bunch of money one time. I'm interested in teaching you how to recreate cash flow. I'm interested in teaching you how to put yourself in a position where you wake up in the morning and you don't run to check your bank account balance because you're afraid that your auto pay might have come out and that the groceries today are going to bounce and go into your overdraft. No, you're waking up and you're running to your tablet to check your bank account balance because you want to know how much more money is in there from last night's transactions that you're not even going to spend because it's more than you bloody need. Okay? And for those of you out there sitting there saying, man, wouldn't that be nice? My God, dude, if I could just make my car payment, deal with the insurance copays, buy a ring for my girl, and get the new roof on the house, I'd be fine. That's all I would ask for, right? God, if I could just scratch off this one scratchy and get $135,000 after taxes, that's $90,000. That takes care of my roof. It takes care of the ring. It takes care of my car payment. It takes care of this and that. And I'm all set. And I'll never ask for anything again. Until next year when I don't need a roof. I just need carpet. And it's a different girl and a different ring. And well, I got all sorts of problems again because they don't go away, guys. Cash flow is king. I'm going to say it to you until I'm blue in the face or red, because that's usually what I am. But guys, you got to have cash flow. You got to have recurring money coming through the door. It is going to be your salvation, I promise you. Imagine that, right? How many of you, I want you to stop and think of this. How many of you have seen that lottery ticket, Win for Life? Okay? The New York Lottery has one for my national audience. I've seen them in Florida. I've seen them other places. They're Win for Life or, $1,000 a week or whatever the case may be. Because the thought of having a healthy pile of cash come in every week or every month with having minimal input without having to work much, just coming to, it's like a fucking dream come true. Like, my God, if I could only do that. My friends, that's what business ownership is. Plain and simple, okay? Except for the easy part. It becomes easier as time goes on. As you get better at what you do, as you master your craft. But more importantly, as the community and as your audience begins to understand that you provide value and you provide a good service or a good product at a reasonable price, and you can be counted on and you can be trusted to show up on time every single time, that business ain't going nowhere, my friend. You're not going to be able to mess that up, I promise you, okay? So let's talk about it. How do we get there? Step one. Let's go to the tablet here, guys. Select business, okay? I've talked about this many times, okay? And you've probably heard it many places if you're the kind of people that do like me and you go all over YouTube and the internet and books and you just absorb. You just want all the information from the most successful minds that you can get your hands on, and you just want to absorb it, okay? If you're that kind of person, you've heard this before, but I'm going to speak it to you a little bit differently, okay? You have to enjoy what you do. Plain and simple. Think about it, guys. For those of you who are working that 9-to-5 grind, for those of you who are getting up and going to work every day spitefully, you can't stand the people you work with. You don't like what you do. Who the hell wants to climb a telephone pole in 30-degree weather with the wind whipping and the snow stinging, okay? Who wants to go and clip dogs' toenails all day long? Who wants to go bag groceries, broom cars? You name it, guys. Everybody bitches about their job. Unless they have chosen their job, unless they are in control, okay? So I want you to stop and picture this. I want you to take a moment, okay, and close your eyes, okay? Do this with me. If you don't, fuck you, okay, but I'm going to do it. Close your eyes and stop and think to yourself, what is one thing I really enjoy doing? Take about 10 seconds. I want you to think about what you do with your day. I want you to think about what you've done for work. I want you to think about the things that you enjoy right about now. Something should have come to you. I really enjoy doing pottery. I really enjoy mowing lawns. I enjoy plowing snow. I like speaking to people. I like giving advice. I like babysitting. I like animals. I like food. I'd love to be a chef. Something has come to you at this point. If it hasn't, just give yourself another 10 seconds. When the show's over, you're going to come up with something. And if you've come up with several, do what Ben Franklin used to do. Write them all down. Draw lines in between them. Under each one, write the pros and the cons. Whichever one's pros outweigh the cons, there you go. Benjamin Franklin solved the problems of the early days of America this way, guys. It's called the Franklin Close, okay? So, why is it so important to enjoy what you do? Well, I think it's implied. I think anybody who thinks logically and can deduce facts would understand why it's important to enjoy what you do. But let me put it through a different lens for you. Okay, I said I would explain it a little bit differently, and that's what I'm going to do. I want you to stop and think about something that you not necessarily love to do, but you like it. It's not that bad, okay? Like, for instance, me, carpentry. I can cut angles for crown molding. I can cut angles for baseboard molding and doors. I can frame in windows. I could probably frame a house if I figured it out and I, had some people who had experience doing it mentor me for a couple weeks or months. No disrespect to framers, whatever you think it takes. I just believe that I could absorb it and figure it out if I was given the appropriate tutoring or mentorship. And I kind of like carpentry, right? I like to work with wood. I like to smell of fresh cut lumber. I like power tools. And I love the feeling of looking at a finished product when I'm done with it, okay? But I like doing it once. I like making a shelf and hanging it and then walking the hell away and not touching my circular saw for about a year, okay? I could not do that every single day, all right? So the difference between something that you love to do and something that you like to do is simply that. What could you see yourself doing every single day? Now, one thing I'm going to explain to you many times over on this show is the fact that never, always, every time, these are words that when used, you have to be cautious, okay? Because we are human beings. And very rarely, almost never, there's that word, are we going to be in a situation where something is always or every time or never bothers us or is always the right way, okay? There's going to be slight nuances and variables as we live our life that make these things most of the time. For instance, I'm a used car dealer, okay? That's what I do. That's my bread and butter. I own 3 car dealerships, okay? Do I enjoy getting up and selling cars every single day? 350 days out of the year, yes, okay? But I don't think if I disliked it 15 days out of the year that I would, if I didn't have those off 2 weeks, that I would be human. I can't fathom, maybe you can, but I can't, and I'll keep it on the I. I'll speak from my experience. I can't fathom feeling the same way about something every single day, okay? I love my wife more than anything in this world, and Ruben's gonna chuckle because we were just talking about it. I love my wife more than anything in this world, and my son and my stepson. I couldn't be more blessed, guys. I'm a very lucky guy, okay? But there are days where I want to strangle her, okay? There are days where she wants to strangle me. And that's just life, right? And it's probably 15 days out of 365, which not sure what that percentage is, Ruben, but it sounds something like 5%. Am I close?
Yeah.
So 95% of the time, if you're enjoying doing a particular thing, a particular project, a particular product, service, whatever, a particular action, the chances are that it's highly likely going to be something you will succeed in if you choose to do it for a business, okay? I got a brother-in-law that just friggin' loves to wash windows and floors. I mean, this guy's a smart son of a bitch. He's got several patented inventions. He's a hell of a nice guy and he's fun to talk to, but this dude loves to make windows clean. I mean, I look at him and I'm like, you could have fucking patented something that would be sold millions of times over, I'm sure. Matter of fact, he gave me a little scrubber thing, an ergonomically shaped scrubber that he built that I can tell you if he brought it on Shark Tank would have got him a $3 million deal. But The man loves to scrub floors and clean windows. So he owns a company, and he's got a bunch of Subaru Outbacks with little trailer hitch pickup beds on them with the industrial floor scrubby polisher thingies. We used to ride on them in prison. And then, window cleaners, the squeegees, right? And the rods. So what the hell, man? It's not what I would do with my life, okay? But I know the guy makes enough money to live comfortably, have brand new cars. He just married a beautiful woman. They're happy as shit. So good for him, right? There's got to be window cleaners and floor scrubbers out there, okay? That's what he enjoys doing, guys. That's why he's successful at it. That's what I'm trying to drive home to you. You got to love what you do, okay? Because business is going to test you, my friends. Business is going to test you. Business will test you in a way that your wife never could. Your children, you think they test you? You ain't seen nothing yet, baby, okay? Can we get a little Bachman-Turner overdrive? It's so fun when you have a producer. Trust me, Bachman-Turner overdrive. Who doesn't love that song? Anyways, I'm going to do Taking Care of Business one day, Ruben. I digress, guys. Man, I was having so much fun, I forgot what I was talking about. You got to love what you do, right? We got Bob, my brother-in-law, cleans windows and scrubs the floors. And in prison, we rode around on them things. You got to be careful because the cord gets caught up in that son of a bitch. Well, it ain't pretty. Guys, their business is going to test you, okay? There's going to be times where you just want to walk away, right? Where it's like a bad at-bat on the baseball field. You just want to bat your cleats, throw the bat down, and walk back into the dugout. But if you do that, you don't get a paycheck that week, okay? Risk versus reward. The risk is high. The reward of walking off the field is very low, I promise you. Business will test you. You have to enjoy what you do. You got to like it so much. When a metaphorical pit bull of an obstacle is staring at you face to face, showing its teeth with rabid white foam coming from its jowls, snapping at you an inch away from your face, reminding you that failure is 1 inch away. You got to smile and say, I understand, Mr. Customer. If I was in your position, I'd be frustrated too. The fact that the roof's still leaking after we installed your brand new roof, that's not acceptable, sir. But what I will provide you is this. My team is human, and they do err. And I'm willing to make up for the entire cost of the leak, the sheetrock, the framing, anything, the carpet damage, even your wife's lovely vase, sir. I'll take care of all of it because you're my customer. And I made a commitment to you. When I did your roof, it was going to be done right, and that commitment stands to this day, sir. Snap, snarl, chop. But you fucked up, and you screwed up, and your team is no good, and you're a bunch of assholes, and you're fucking not worth the money, you son of a bitch. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to call the Better Business Bureau. I'm going to call the Attorney General, or better yet, there's this one. You'll be hearing from my lawyers. Like Mrs. Crabtree on Robin's Egg Lane has a team of fucking litigators in New York City just at the ready, like, okay, Mrs. Crabtree, we've got our briefcases and our legal pads. We're ready to go. You just say the word bing, round one. And you're like, oh, gosh, no, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that, no. Miss Crabtree will take care of it, I promise. Mr. Jones, it's not a problem. We'll handle it because that's what we do. And the pit bull calms down. Pit bull, could be a pit bull, ball and chain, pit bull. Pit bull calms the hell down, slowly goes back into the doghouse. That's a metaphor, guys. What I'm talking about is, it is the mental equivalent of staring death in the face. The failure of your business, okay? Bankruptcy. You're going to deal with these things. And if you're good, you're going to deal with them frequently. Meaning, if you're good and you want to take risks and you want to expand and scale and grow, you will be met with adversity frequently, okay? There's a quote, and I'm going to misquote it, and I don't even know who it's from, but I'm going to make my own man of the free quote, okay? And Big Luke says, it's not really how well you do when things are good. It's not how good you can make a good day. It's not how high you can raise your best record, okay? It's about how the fuck do you behave when you're on the bottom floor and the shit is still piling on you, okay? Rocky Balboa is a good example. He told his son in Rocky 4, 5, 3, 2, I'm not sure, one of them things. He said, let's play the clip, Ruben. Matter of fact, he could do it much better than I can. Ruben, go ahead and roll Rocky Balboa.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Guys, that's a classic line from a classic guy. And although it made for good Hollywood TV, that's as real as it gets, guys. I mean, it's not about how hard you hit, okay? Like, you can hit hard. You'll be notable. It'll be well recognized. That's great. But the champions are the ones that can get their bricks kicked in, okay? Just get up and keep moving. That's what business will do to you. That's why it's so important that you love what the hell you get up and do every day. Because otherwise, guys, it'd be like if Rocky didn't have Adrian, okay? He's not going to get up and keep going, okay? You got to have that fire that burns inside you. And if you love what you do, if you know that you want to keep on keeping on because that's all you want to do is get up and continue to do that thing for the rest of your working life, that is going to drive you to major, major success. I guarantee it, guys. I'm a living example, okay? Now, let's get on to subject number 2. I was a little long-winded on number 1 there, Ruben, but it's probably the most important. Marketing, getting to your first sale, okay? So when I started my company, and I'm always going to speak on personal experience, okay? I went with what I knew, okay? What does that mean? Did I have experience running a car dealership? Minimal, right? But what I did is I said this, okay, if I'm shopping for a car, what am I doing? First thing I thought about was I might be driving around. So I made sure that I got a good, well-lit, nice-looking sign, and it was in good placement. I also made sure that my cars were lined up so you could snap a chalk line down the front bumper, all nice and even. I made sure I had a good mix of colors. I made sure the windshields were clean and lettered up properly. I made sure that my storefront looked professional and that somebody would feel comfortable spending their money there, okay? Then what did I do? I said, okay, I'm gonna go on the internet, okay? The internet is where people, by and large, shop for things. So, clickety-click, used cars for sale near me. Bing, what popped up? There was a company called Car Gurus. There was a company called Carfax.com. There was a company called Auto Trader, okay? I just made notes on all these different companies. I also knew that people went to Craigslist. I also knew that people went to Facebook Marketplace, okay? And I just started absorbing, okay? Then I reached out to people I knew in the business. Now, I knew that some of them were going to bullshit me. They saw me, they smelled a competitor coming, and they said, we're gonna misdirect him, okay? So I took an average, okay, of what these people told me, and I made my own judgment, my own deduction, okay? But what I did was I reached out to every one of these companies, okay? What does it cost to put my car on your website? How much exposure is it gonna get? How many cars can I list? What are you gonna guarantee me? So on and so forth. And guys, because I have an affinity for negotiation and persuasion, which is something I'm going to teach you because you need to have it too if you want to be successful in business, I made deals with these companies. Now, I can't tell you how many times I heard, well, Mr. Lunkenheimer, I've been working here for 7 years, and in the history of Car Gurus, we've never given somebody 90 days for free to see if they like it, and then if they sell cars, we charge them. And I said, okay, well, then you're not going to get my business. I want to make sure I understand this correctly. You want me to just give you my product for free blindly and hope and trust that you're good for your word, and if you actually sell a car off it, you're going to sign up? I said, yes. Well, that's unreasonable, sir. I'm sorry. I said, is it really? Well, then I think you're a hypocrite. Why is that? Because you're asking me to do the same thing. You're asking me to blindly sign up for your service, which I have never seen work before and have no proof of its efficacy, and pay you money based on the fact that you told me it works. So I have to blindly trust you, blindly purchase your product, and then cross my fingers and hope that it converts and it produces revenue, the same way that I'm asking you to do the same. If it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for me. And I got silence. And when you're in sales and you're in negotiation, you know this: the next person to talk loses. For those of you that are listening and not watching, I'm just sitting here smiling, looking at the camera. And I'm showing you how awkward it is to just be silent. The same way you're sitting there and there's just little tingly hairs prickling up on the back of your neck, and you're going, dude, this is just weird, man. Can you please just say something? I'm a little freaked out, and I'm not even in the studio with you. Those are the same emotions that run through your counterpart in a negotiation. And the reason we say next person to talk loses is because the person that speaks first is generally the one who is the least comfortable in the conversation. Now me, I was calm as a cucumber after I dropped that line because I knew I had won. I knew I had outsmarted him. And I knew one of two things were going to happen. I was going to get the free time and I was going to get to try the product, or I was going to get off the phone call and have won the argument, okay? And honestly, if that company wasn't willing to do that for me, it wasn't a company that I wanted to do business with anyways, because anybody that wants me to blindly trust them to buy their product just because they say it's good and not willing to prove it to me, well, that would be like me saying, Mr. Jones, don't worry about it. We're going to put new tires on the car. Just take my word for it. Well, I'd like you to put it in writing. Listen, man, you just got to take my word for it. It's just what it's going to be. Listen, man, if you're good for what you say you're going to do, you'd have no problem putting it in writing. The proof should be in the pudding. I understand, Mr. Jones, but you just going to have to trust me, okay? You ain't going to buy a car from that guy. Neither am I. Same way, I'm not going to do business with a company that wants me to blindly follow them off into the sunset with no guarantee. Let me talk to my manager, and he did. And a half hour later, I got a call back. Actually, I didn't even get a call back. I got an email with a DocuSign in it that was for 90 days for free, where I would be billed on the 4th month. And if I didn't want the service, I could opt out. So I won. And that's how I treated every marketing scenario, okay? Ruben is also employed by a social media marketing agency, okay? Ruben, did Scott ever tell you the story of our first negotiation?
He did not.
He didn't?
No.
Okay. I would ask him one day, okay? And he'll tell you, it's live and I'm thirsty. He'll tell you that he came in and he explained to me, what his services were and so on and so forth. And I found value in it. But I told him I wasn't willing to blindly sign up to a year. And he said, I'm sorry, that's just how we do it. You either sign up for the year or you don't. And I said, okay. Long story short, I convinced him that I basically said to him, listen, young buck, if your product is as good as you say it is, you should have no problem giving me a few months and letting me do this. And his thing was, but if I do this, we're spending money on ad spend. So I would actually have to spend money to try to recruit your business. And I met him halfway. I said, okay, I can appreciate that. So I'll pay, but I'm only paying for 1 month. I'm not paying for the whole year. I'll pay for this 1 month, see how we do. If it gains traction, I'll give you 3 months to get it right, because he explained with social media that it takes a little time to build. And he made a very strong case for it. And he was a great salesman. So there was 2 pieces to that. Number 1, I loved his salesmanship. And I knew he had integrity. And number 2, he made sense. And I said to me, you know what? If I do this and I embark on this journey and I commit to this and it doesn't bear fruit, I will have at least learned something. And that is how this guy sold me so I can counteract it next time. So he made a concession and he broke away from it must be a 12-month agreement. And he lowered the price slightly. And I made a concession and said, I will pay now, because I understand that it's not just like it's a product you already have sitting there and you're letting me use. You actually have to spend money and create and make a website and all these things for me. So we met halfway. That was probably, 6 years ago, Ruben. And ever since, I've bought more packages, spent more money, more ad spend. And it was a good relationship. And that's a testament to the fact that when you cultivate a good relationship, he's done exactly with me what I'm going to teach you how to do, which is revisit the customer and continue to sell. Hey, man, you liked how we did this. You're going to love how we do that. You loved how we fixed your roof. Let us install your in-ground pool. You loved how we sealed your driveway. Let us now plow it, okay? And once your hooks are in, once you've sunk your teeth into a customer and you've provided value, and here it is. Once they trust you. Ruben, let's get an echo. Ready? Once they trust you. So freaking cool, man. This guy can do anything. I'm going to do the whole podcast as a dinosaur one day. Anyways, once they trust you guys, once you've built a rapport, once your hooks are in, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a nefarious thing to say. It's just you've done your job. You've got your hooks in, okay? Not like parasitic hooks, just very simply, you're climbing a mountain. You've got your safety equipment hooked in. Now you know that if you trip, you're going to fall a little bit, but you can climb right back and continue to progress. Business is just like that, guys, okay? So from marketing to the very first sale, taking you through how I did it. You find the places that your particular area of business markets to. Maybe you come up with a few unique ideas. Maybe you watch a couple YouTube videos. You speak. I strongly recommend you speak to some people in your career field. And do this, guys. You don't have to go to your local competitors and raise a bunch of red flags and we're on the radar. We're your competitor. Start firing shots. Call Des Moines, Iowa. Unless, of course, you're in Des Moines, Iowa, then don't call there. Call somewhere a long ways away from where you are. Find somebody in your industry. Say, hey, man, I'm in New York. You're in Cali. I want to start this business. You have this business. I want to be successful. It sure looks like you're successful. You got 4.7 stars out of 5 on Google on 1,300 transactions. Looks like you know what y'all are doing out there. Yeah. Okay, good. So I'm wondering if from one entrepreneur to another, you could just give me a few pointers on this, and this, and here's what I'll tell you. If you can do that for me, I will go on your website, I will leave a good testimony, and I'll leave you a positive Google review on every one of your business pages. Does that sound fair for 10 minutes of your time? They're going to give it to you every time, guys. Furthermore, unless they're a dick, then hang up the phone. But furthermore, they see another entrepreneur struggling, they remember what it was like, they're going to work with you, okay? So from marketing to sale number one is very simple. Now, I'm not going to get too far down this rabbit hole because sales is just I can't wait to get into that show with you guys. You're going to learn so much. I'm going to have a goddamn brown leather couch therapy session, but just divulging all this information to you guys, probably tell you some war stories, probably have some tears and some good therapy. I'm just kidding, but you're going to learn a lot. All right. So I'll leave sales for another day. But what I will tell you is moving from the marketing to your very first sale is this giant hump that everybody's petrified of. Okay. Absolutely petrified of, because the moment you get that first sale, the moment you make that first deposit into your bank account, you now have a business that has monetized. Okay. What does monetize mean? It means that you've created money. This business that you've created has given you dollars that you can spend, okay? They're going in the bank account. It's tangible. It's real. You can eat now. You can also go home and tell your family, made my first sale today, and they're going to go, holy shit, the son of a bitch did it, okay, guys? So that's how you get from marketing to the first sale. Going to take a little bit of time on a different show to talk more about selling, but the transition, let me just put it to you this way. It's so much easier than you think, okay? Now, I'm a strong salesman, and you're going to say to yourself, well, that's easy for you to say, Big Luke. You're a crack salesman. You're better than Jordan Belfort. You're better than Grant Cardone. You're better than Ed Milet. You're better than Tony Robbins. And I would say to you that those are all very true things. I am the best there is, and you will learn this. And so will Tony, Grant, and whoever the hell else I'm Ed, Ty Lopez, all these guys, these gurus. I would smoke their boots. But anyways, and I pray they one day put me to the test. That's a challenge, boys. It's been thrown out there. It's tossed out there. It's real. Challenge. Anyways, I digress. You can't tell I have some held back aggression towards these influencers, can you? Honestly, guys, by and large, a lot of them are good guys, and they're incredibly successful. If they got more money in the bank than me, then who am I to say? But the way they sell, I just believe my way is more effective, and I would love to put that to the test. So I would humbly challenge any of them. Now, forgive me for using some of your time to plug myself, but it's over with, okay? Once you get to that point where it's time to make the first sale, if you go into that close with confidence, listen, sir, we marketed to you, you reached out to us, you saw that we were the best value, you saw that our company was reputable, and you know we're going to do a good job, so just sign right there on your estimate and we'll get started. Well, we haven't even gone over price. Well, Mr. Jones, I mean, we're not going to be 10 times more than our competition. We're not going to be 10 times less. We're going to be right in line. We might even be a touch more, but we're going to do the best job, sir. That's what's important to you, right? Well, yeah, okay, then just give me your signature right there. Well, hang on one second. I'm not just going to sign this thing. Well, okay, Mr. Customer, when they hand you your credit card receipt at dinner, you sign it, right? It's because the dinner was good, right? Well, yeah. Well, I can't feed you the dinner ahead of time, okay? But I can tell you that my reputation and the quality of work that we do speaks for itself. You've seen my portfolio. You've seen my team. They're dressed professionally. We came in a very nice lettered up van. We've got great Google reviews. We're not going anywhere, sir. Sign right there. We'll get started. It's so easy, guys. Now, is it always going to go that smoothly? No, okay? But it has many times, and I promise you, that's the easy part. You guys are wound up. I'm sure a large portion of you that are not experienced salespeople are so wound up right now. Like, Luke, it all sounded good till you got to the point where I had to talk to somebody, okay? But that's reality, guys. You cannot take money out of somebody's wallet unless you ask them to open it for you. What's important is when you feel that your query to have them open their wallet and allow you to take that money, when you believe in yourself and you know that it's founded, when you know that you produce good work, when you know that they're going to benefit from what you're giving them, you have no problem taking that money, and you'll even take a little extra for a tip. That's what good business is all about. You take care of your customer, and you can sell with confidence, okay? It's live and I'm thirsty. Ruben, how about some elevator music, huh? I almost didn't want that to end, okay? So guys, number 4, customer retention and follow-up. You know, I said that enjoying what you do is the most important thing, and then I felt like sales was the most important thing, and then I thought about social media and marketing and phones and paper, and I thought, man, marketing is the most important thing. And now that we're talking about customer retention and follow-up, now I think that's the most important thing, okay? So just know they're all bloody important. Once you have convinced somebody righteously by doing a good job that your product or your service is valuable, now's the time, guys. Now's the time for you to leverage that relationship and ask for a referral. Mr. Jones, you know just as well as I do that there's not a lot of good air conditioning technicians in the greater Miami area. Matter of fact, there's a lot of hacks running around with Transit Connect vans that got no Freon licenses and they do a crap job. Could we agree on that? Of course we could, sir. Here's the thing. Now you know that me, Mike Stevens from A+ Air Conditioning, now that you know that we're reputable, that we show up on time, that we're aggressively priced to the marketplace, we do a good job, and we clean up after ourselves, not to mention we come back a week later, just like I am here today, to follow up with you, to check off on my clipboard that nothing is leaking and everything is good, and make sure that you're satisfied with the install and the final product. We could both agree that we've earned our stripes with you, right, sir? Right, we could both agree that the product was valuable, sir? Yes, okay. And I'm gonna guess at 62 years old and retired here in South Florida that you probably know a few other retirees in the community, right? Yes, I do. Okay. So I've got my tablet right here, sir, and there's 3 spots. And next to each one of these 3 spots, it says $200. That's because if you just give me the name and phone number, and of course call them first, let them know I'll be calling. This isn't a blind sales call. I want permission to speak with these people. You're gonna give me 3 names and 3 addresses, sir. And I'm gonna give all 3 of them quotes for HVAC services, okay? Once I do that, law of averages says one of them, especially off the back of the testimony from their neighbor, you, sir, who's gonna tell them that we did a great job. The law of averages says one of them is gonna purchase our service. If we do well and we get a little bit lucky, 2 of them will purchase our service. And sir, if it's my lucky day, all 3 of them are going to, but here's where it benefits you, sir. Let's say it's just the one that we know is gonna buy. Puts $200 back in your pocket. Oh, sir, I'm not asking you to just tell me these people's name and number so I can go harass them. I want to help them get the quality air conditioning system that I helped install in your house that's improved your quality of life, that's helped your days get better because when you turn the air conditioning on, it gets cooler much quicker in here. And the fact that your power bill has gone down about $80 a month, you said, about $80. See, I want to do that for them too, sir. But because advertising is expensive, I know this. I know that if I put up a billboard here in South Florida, it's going to cost me $28,000 a month. And well, sir, you got to install a whole heck of a lot of Freon to make 28 grand. I know that if I want to get on a radio show here in South Florida, that it's $3,500 for the smallest ad package they sell, which gets me about 1 commercial a day. And nobody's going to remember that, sir. But I know this. I'm sure as hell happy to pay you $200 for a guaranteed sale. And if they end up buying extra stuff, I've been known to throw a few extra bucks out there. Well, sir, because I appreciate people that bring me business, and much like I pay my salesmen to go recruit me deals, if you do the same, sir, I would like to pay you. If you look at my Facebook page here real quick, you'll see all the pictures of me handing checks over. These are all people in these communities just like you that have bought our services. Oh, you knew that one? Yeah, that's Mrs. Marina. She's a very nice lady. She actually got a heating and air conditioning system. I digress, guys. Okay, that is your prospecting. That is your repeat and referral business. That is one of the methods that you can use to gain more customers, okay? But customer retention is just as important. You need to be emailing these people at particular intervals, reminding them that you're still out here, reminding them that you can come back and maintain the product that you installed, or you can come back and give them a refresher on the service that they purchased. It's always cultivating the almighty dollar, guys. And if you do it well, boy, oh boy, will your life change. Remember back at the beginning of the show when we talked about that scratch off that just paid you every week, every month? That one lump sum of money, yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? But that depletes as you spend it. It's kind of like the episode that I did. What was it called, Ruben? Money, both sides of the coin?
Yes, it was.
You can get that lump sum or you can get that cash flow. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, there is no substitute for cash flow. If you walked up to me and said, Luke, I'll give you $2 million cash, or I'll give you $10,000 a month for as long as it would take to get to that, however many friggin' months that is. What is it, Ruben? Can you give it to me? You got a calculator?
Yeah, I can calculate it.
Don't worry about it. So you guys out there have already got it figured out, and you're realizing that you're better at math than me, so you could possibly be a better salesman. What I'm trying to tell you guys is I would rather have $10,000 coming to me every month, okay, in the same interval and frequency and duration of time that it would take to get to $2 million, then I would rather have $2 million all at once. Now, I want you to stop and think about that. Why? There's two reasons. There's a lot of reasons, but two very important ones. Number one, if I'm given $2 million, my mind will see $2 million, and I will subconsciously begin to entertain a standard of living that revolves around having $2 million all the time, okay? But as I spend, that money depletes, and there's nothing incoming to replace it, okay? If I get $10,000 every single month for 200 months or whatever it takes for it to get to $2 million, I wake up every day knowing that every 30 days, $10,000. Every 30 days, $10,000, okay? I know that I've got cash flow. I know that if a problem arises, I'm going to have money coming in, okay? Here's the most important part of it. Pay attention. You can leverage cash flow. Raise your hand if you know what that means. Yes, you in the back. That's not correct. It has nothing to do with levers. But I'll tell you what it means. You can leverage it. You ever heard somebody say, oh, I'm buying stocks on margin? Okay. They're leveraging their credit. Okay, what that means is they've got $100,000 worth of stocks that they own, and their broker, their ECN, whatever trading platform they're using is saying, okay, you've got a good credit score, you got a decent income, you got $100,000 worth of stock portfolio value. We will also let you trade $50,000 on margin. That means credit. That means you can borrow $50,000 to trade with and play with. Now, if you lose it, we're gonna take it out of your real money, okay? But if you make money with it, it's yours, okay? As long as you return the original margin spent, okay? You can leverage your stock portfolio to gain additional money to trade on margin, okay? What do I mean when I'm talking about leveraging cash flow? You can actually go to a bank and say, I need $300,000 to purchase that warehouse building to put my equipment and a small office in, okay? It's $250,000, but it needs $30,000 worth of asphalt work, $10,000 worth of roof work, and it needs $10,000 worth of glass. I need to go ahead and borrow $300,000 on that, okay? The bank goes and they see that the property is worth what you're looking to borrow, okay? But they notice that you're looking to do a venture with this business, okay? It's not for your business that you have now. It's for something else. They will actually look at how much cash flow your current business makes and allow you to make a new venture based on your cash flow. Meaning this, even though that's owned by Galaxy Horizons LLC and Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is the one that's going to be taking out the loan, they will leverage this cash flow against the purchase of that building. You can buy properties. You can make capital investment loans, or you receive them rather. You can do Guys, it's endless. When a lender knows that you've got money coming in, matter of fact, let me just make this point, okay? If you go back to, I'm not sure which episode it was, but it's the one where I think maybe it was Learn to Breathe, Learn to Walk, Learn to Sell, okay? Where I talk about how I negotiated to get my $1 million house and they never pulled my credit, okay? And they never checked my history. All the normal diligence that a bank would do, the gentleman that I bought the house from that held the mortgage never did, okay? He was just interested in my cash flow. And he didn't even ask for a bank statement, okay? Once he knew, and he asked some people that he knew in the industry, what's this guy's portfolio looking like? And they said, well, his business brings in this much revenue a year. He's like, man, that's that many millions of bucks coming in cash flow? Yep. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll let him borrow the money. Because he knew that cash was incoming, okay? Guys, when I say cash flow is king, there's none higher, okay? Revenue coming in, the well pumping, the heart beating, the river flowing every single month in and month out. Your job as a business owner is not what most people think it is, which is to go to the pile, scoop a shovel full, bring it over, dump it, and go, how much? 50? Okay. Go back to the pile, scoop, bring it over, dump it. Where are we at now? 86? Okay. And keep going like that. And then, wait, how are we at 82? We were just at 86 and I dumped more. Oh, we spent? Oh, shit. Okay. Guys, I can't say it enough. Cash flow is king. You're not scooping and plopping. You got a valve. Okay? And it starts with a real hard turn and you start to get a drip. Okay? Then you reach up and you grab it and you've actually been able to spin it around enough. Now you can grab one of the straight pieces and really reef on it. Then all of a sudden you got some flow. Well, then the water's moving, the liquid's flowing, the cash is flowing. Now everything's lubricated a little bit. Now things are coming a little easier. Now you're kind of in the swing of things and you feel good about it. Now you reach up with one hand, you pull it, ooh, bust loose. Now the pipeline's flowing. And that is how it goes, guys. The more you produce, the more you earn, the easier it gets. Why do you think you never hear about successful entrepreneurs who create something? I'm not talking about MC Hammer, who had one hit and then went bankrupt, okay? I'm not talking about Mike Tyson, whom I'm very fond of, okay? Going out and winning a bunch of fights and making a bunch of money, but then his fight career ending, so his cash flow ending. And, he's actually been able to do some things later. That's a great point. You know what? We should talk about that. Mike Tyson, perfect example. Somebody who got that one-hit wonder status, got a big pile of cash, depleted it, got fucked up in the game, and then said, well, wait a minute, I got other things I can do. I have other talents. I can act a little bit. I can host a podcast. I can sell some supplements because I was the pound for pound champ for years, okay? He leveraged other parts of his talents to create more cash flow because he learned the same way that yours truly learned that it's not about getting a big lump sum and going, oh, I'm a millionaire. Because in a year or two, when you spend through that pile, you ain't a millionaire no more. But guess what? If you create a business that brings in 50 grand a month, and a mergers and acquisitions company values that business at $3.5 million, guess what? You're a millionaire because you own a business that is worth $3.5 million. Get that through your head, guys. That's why I'm a millionaire several times over. Okay, is because I've created something that produces such a strong revenue. Okay, guys, I'll be real with you. I don't have $1 million cash in the bank. Okay, my assets, my inventory that is owned, well over $1 million. Okay, my personal assets, my buildings, my businesses, my equity and properties, that stuff is all where the millions is, okay? If I went and I sold my company, CNY Drives right now, may probably be a little too personal to disclose the exact figure, but it's, it's well over $5 million and it's not quite 20, so somewhere in there, just pick a number. It doesn't really matter how much it's worth. What matters is that you understand that you become a millionaire once what you have, the net worth of it, goes above $1 million. Now, Wrap your head around this. We're going to explode your brain here real quick. Most small business owners who are millionaires don't have $1 million in the bank. Okay? Why? Well, stop and think about it. Do you know what entrepreneurs do? They put money to work. When I see $1 million sitting in a bank account, you know what I see? I see lost money because I'm a car salesman. What could I do with $1 million? Well, I could buy $1 million worth of cars. And if $1 million worth of cars equals 40 cars, and my lot has 160 cars on it, and we make X amount of dollars, and it's based on a turn of inventory, well, why in hell's half acre wouldn't I take that other $1 million and invest it in inventory and get to 200 cars a month and another 30, 40 grand a month in income? Why would I not do that? The answer is, ding, I would, because I'm a businessman. And that's how you multiply money. You put money to work for you. Now, we'll do episodes on investing, okay? We'll do episodes on building wealth. We'll do episodes on all these things, guys, and I can't wait to bring that value to you, okay? But today was about getting a small business started, okay? It was about how to select the business. It was about getting from marketing to the very first sale. It was about mastering the sale and the close. It was about customer retention and follow-up and getting referrals. And then finally, it was about scaling, okay? What do I mean by that? You can take your business that you have, a model that you create, okay? And you can multiply it. That's why I have 3 car dealerships, and we are opening a 4th, and we will open many more. Now, it's not as simple as you would think. Old naive Luke Dog here said, well, if I've got one business that makes this much money, if I replicate that business, well, then I'm just going to make double that. And if I do it again, I'll make triple that. It doesn't work that way, guys, because there's only one of you. You are the foundation of your business, okay? You are the one that is the epicenter that comes up with the ideas and creates and is able to close the deal and sell the product and build the revenue. Chances are, if you get somebody who's equally as talented as you at that thing, they will eventually become their own business owner and they will do their own thing. And that's great. You should wish them well, okay? But the type of person who's going to be your manager, your general manager of one of your branches, one of your locations, one of your crews, one of your companies, is somebody like my dad, who's a great human being, okay? He's got love in his heart. He's very kind. You meet anybody, they'll tell you that guy, John Lunkenheimer, he is a man's man, okay? He's the kind of guy that pulls over in the freezing cold and helps the old lady put the spare tire on her car, gives her a $20 bill so she can have a warm meal, and then leaves. That's who my father is, okay? But he don't want to own a business. And I couldn't fathom it my whole life. Why wouldn't you just want to be on top? Because he ain't built that way. It doesn't appeal to him. The stress of employees and payroll and having to get there before everybody else. And, you know, it's just not exciting to him. And the money would be nice, but he's good with where he's at. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But it just wasn't me, all right? So he's the kind of guy that I would get to run one of my businesses. I mean, not literally, because families shouldn't work together. That's a motherfucking ticking time bomb waiting to happen, I promise you. Very few people can pull that off. And I don't suggest you try to be one of the exceptions, okay? But he's the kind of guy that if he were not my father, I would have him as one of my capos. I would have him running one of my businesses because he's reliable, he's punctual, he's loyal, he adheres to company policy, and he shows up to work on time every single time. Last time he took a sick day, I think we were all worried he was dead, okay? But he's not gonna do what I'm gonna do. He'll do 70% of it. He'll do 75% of it, which means if the business I run makes $1 million, the one that he runs is going to make $750. And the next guy that I hire is going to make $650 to $750. So the multiples will be there, but they will not be dollar for dollar. And you need to understand that, because if you create your scaling model based on every single addition, every single child of the business that you grow doing exactly what the first one did, you're going to fail. If you build your expenses into that much revenue, you will fail. If you build your payroll cost into that much revenue, you will fail. If you build whatever it is, depending on that level of money to come through, in order for that business to succeed, you will fail. Furthermore, on the topic of scaling, if your business does not create revenue that is well above and beyond the expenses and the overhead, I do not recommend you scale. What do I mean? If you spend 90 grand a year to make 150 grand a year, you're spending more than you're earning. And guys, there are other business analytics guys that will tell you much different than this. They'll tell you if you're making a 5% margin on $5 million, scale away. 5% on 5 million is 5% on 5 millions. But I ain't built that way, guys. I'm just not. And I'm not going to advise you to do anything that I wouldn't do. Okay? So rule number one for me is the revenue has to be at least double what the expenses are. Meaning if it costs me 50 grand a year to run, I got to make 150 grand a year in order for me to make that make sense, okay? So there's variances from that depending on the type of business, depending on whether it's a service business or a product business, and that's something that I'm going to get into, okay? And that was something that Ruben we've talked about, okay? And it's very important, really, because there are major differences. What do I mean by that? My brother-in-law, Bob, he's a service business, okay? He's got a floor scrubber and a squeegee. He brings his bucket and his scrubber in, and he goes and he does a service for you. And then you pay him. And all that money that you hand him is revenue, okay? If he needs a new floor scrubber, he's got to replace that. If he needs a new squeegee, he's got to replace that. If it costs him glass cleaner and paper towels each time, he has those worked in expenses. But by and large, when he gets that check, it is to his pocket, which is why a service business it's a great business to be in, okay? But service businesses tend to have a final sale figure that is smaller than a product business, okay? I mean on a gross revenue, yearly scale, okay? Meaning this, if you work on Teslas, you're probably gonna make $500,000 a year. If you sell Teslas, you'll probably make $5 million a year, okay? If you clean houses, you probably got a $150,000 a year business. If you manufacture houses, you may very well have a $1.5 million a year business. But there's much more risk in one, there's much more overhead in one versus the service business, which is low overhead generally in most cases and has a higher risk reward benefit ratio than a product business, okay? So guys, we've covered a lot today. Ruben, do you think we've touched on everything that's the most important?
I think for today, but there's still more.
Oh man, we got to do at least 10 of these things. Guys, we're going to go over it all. I mean, I'm excited about this, guys, because when I say that I want to bring you value, I mean it. Like, I get high, okay? I said get off. We got to remember we're on social media. The Army's going to come for us, man. Tall, white, middle-aged, muscle-bound male makes sexual reference towards his audience. Guys, get out of the mainstream matrix mindset. When I meant get off, I meant like yippee-ki-yay, not splat, okay? So just get over it. We're not those kind of people here. We don't nitpick, okay? We're real. We'll be real to you, you be real to us. But I get a high. I get pure enjoyment out of bringing people value. When I get the email that says, man, you changed my life. I'm my own boss now. When I get the kid coming up to me that says, hey, thank you, man. My dad finally showed up for Christmas. And it was because you helped pay for his rehab and you helped get him through his drug addiction. Whenever somebody comes to me and tells me that the work I'm doing has benefited them, it makes up for all the years of shame for thievery and drug addiction and prison time and vandalism and all the dirty, terrible shit I did when I was younger. If you guys don't know anything about that, watch my story, okay? You'll understand who you're talking to. And I promise you this, the information that I bring you will all of a sudden become a lot more valuable, okay? And a lot more credible. Okay. But the bottom line is this. I enjoy doing this, guys. I really do. So I've made a commitment many times in the past leading up to this. And again, today on this microphone, I will teach you, my audience, how to build and grow your own small business. I'm talking from a lemonade stand to a cleaning company to a car dealership. Whatever you want to do, guys, you will be able to apply these methods to that. Now, spoiler alert, no, disclosure, okay? Disclosure. I am not a billionaire. So if you want to know how to develop the next $1 billion company, I'm not your guy. There's guys out there for that. I don't know if they're doing it for free, okay? And if you're trying to make $1 billion, then the chances are you've already made $1 million, okay? Furthermore, if you're trying to make $1 billion and you haven't made $1 million yet, you might want to stair step with this and work your way up. But the bottom line is this, guys. I'm somebody who's worth several million bucks, okay? I've got a few nickels to rub together. I've been in prison. I've been a drug addict. I've been in terrible, terrible places, and I've had nothing. 400 credit score, no money in the bank, debt out the ass, the whole world hating me, my mug shot in a video of me robbing a bank on the news. Today, I come to you as a social media influencer, as a business owner, as a father, as a husband, as a millionaire, as a successful entrepreneur who's figured out that it doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you've come from, and it doesn't matter what barriers have been placed in front of you. The moment you take accountability for your life, the moment you decide that you're not going to let anything else other than the man or woman in the mirror dictate how your life goes, you can do anything, quite literally, with the exception of play NBA if you're born at 4 feet 2 inches tall. It's going to be tough, and I'm real with you. But business-wise, guys, financially, emotionally, relationships, success, religion, all of it, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You can get done whatever you want to get done, as long as you take accountability. The moment that you realize the only person that can change your path is you, that's the day that you've become free. Just like me, the man of the free. I take accountability. I stay focused. I stay humble. I stay very, very, very motivated. But most importantly, I stay free.